Have you ever felt stressed, anxious, or just deeply unsettled in your current situation? Did you think to yourself, I just need to get away from here. Maybe a change of scenery will make me feel better. We've all been tempted by the fantasy of outrunning our inner turmoil, by physically removing ourselves, soul-searching, as others would call it. But what if that restless voice inside simply follows wherever you go? That's the sobering truth the ancient philosopher Seneca confronts us within this timeless piece of wisdom.
How can novelty of surroundings abroad and becoming acquainted with foreign scenes or cities be of any help? All that dashing turns out to be quite futile.
With this incisive observation, Seneca strips bare one of humanity's most persistent delusions, the idea that one's internal restlessness and discontent can be outrun by going someplace else. He calls directly to those consumed by fantasies of attaining peace simply by changing scenery. The philosopher undercuts the romantic notion of finding oneself through constant movement and adventure. Instead, Seneca locates the root of our unease not in any particular place, but within the noisy mind itself, a deafening disturbance we carry with us, regardless of how many boundaries are crossed or horizons explored. This is notable in another one of his quotations in the same letter.
Though you cross the boundless ocean, though, to use the words of our poet Virgil, lands and towns are left astern. Whatever your destination, you will be followed by your failings.
Seneca's teachings display remarkable importance in the modern era of widespread detachment, isolation, and continuous movement. We see countless examples of those endlessly traveling, always feeling the current locale must be exchanged for the next, hoping the following place will deliver the contentment the previous could not. The consequences of avoiding this wisdom prove staggering. Spending a lot of money, negative impacts on the environment, frantic existence, and the constant failure to make peace with oneself. Similar to a persistent ringing in the ears, the underlying dissatisfaction persists, becoming apparent with every new environment as just another insufficient remedy. Applying Seneca's insight requires the opposite of avoidance, learning to be at peace with the never-ending sound of our inner thoughts. It is allowing the internal dust to settle by resisting the instinct to flee from the noise of one's own existence. The profound, lifelong benefit that emerges is the blessing of inhabiting wherever one's body happens to exist. You don't have to feel like an outsider and always on edge in your own space. By allowing yourself to integrate and relax, you can finally feel at ease. One can learn to associate the inner turmoil of the mind within the comfort of home. As Seneca also said,
You have to lay aside the load on your spirit. Until you do that, nowhere will satisfy you.
Seneca's perspective aligns remarkably well with the teachings of Zen Buddhism, which emphasize that no matter where you go, you inevitably take your mind along with you. The restless mind cannot be escaped simply by physical relocation. True serenity arises not from changing environments, but from changing one's state of mind and confronting the root causes of suffering. As the Zen saying goes,
no matter how far you travel, you can never get away from yourself.
This echoes Seneca's view that our mental disturbances are portable. We carry the seeds of our angst within us at all times. Running from that underlying condition is an exercise in futility. Seneca's wisdom also connects with modern psychological concepts like avoidance behavior and paradoxical effort. By continually fleeing from the unpleasant sensations of the present moment, we often end up amplifying our distress rather than alleviating it. The more effort expended in escaping our inner turmoil, the more pronounced that turmoil can become. Cognitive behavioral therapists help patients become aware of this pattern by teaching mindfulness skills, learning to accept uncomfortable thoughts and feelings without judgment, rather than trying to avoid them. This aligns with Seneca's view that the unquiet mind demands acknowledgement, not traveling constantly. It is important to note that the Stoics do not disapprove of travel, but rather of running away while holding into discontentment. After all, Seneca also said this in the same letter.
Once you have rid yourself of the affliction there, though, every change of scene will become a pleasure.
Also,
where you arrive does not matter so much as what sort of person you are when you arrive there.
the next time you find yourself daydreaming of fleeing to some new, idyllic locale to finally experience peace, pause and ask yourself, am I simply trying to run from the noise I already carry within me? Can I find the courage to settle into this present moment, wrestle with my restlessness, and discover the stillness available amid any storm? Seneca's maxim is a clarion call to stop continually displacing ourselves in pursuit of hollow reprieves. It invites a journey not outward, but inward, to the source of the unrest itself. For in greeting that restless mind as a tireless travel companion, we paradoxically create space for tranquility to emerge from within wherever we are. True freedom unveils itself in ceasing to flee from ourselves. Let this video be a tool to help you move spiritually and away from focusing solely on the physical. Thank you for watching.